Hello, everyone, and welcome. Yeah, it's our 282nd Sunday gathering. If we haven't yet met, I am Sandra, joined by my bestest friends, Kerry and Phil. Yes, it was just some 282 weeks ago that we thought we could add a little joy and a little inspiration and the reality of the afterlife to some lives. And here we are so many years later, and we still keep on keeping on. So, whatever brought you here today, welcome. We're here for about 90 minutes-ish together. The link you use to join becomes the replay link. You can see past Sunday gatherings at our wedon'tdie.com site. And just sit back, relax. It will unfold naturally. If there's instructions to give, I will give them along the way. But I wanted to personally welcome you. So I'm going to turn it over to Kerry, as she is our chairperson for our gathering today. And she's going to explain the theme, do our opening prayer, and we'll get the show on the road. Over to you, Kerry.
Thank you very much. And it's lovely to be back online. It feels like we've been away for a long time because we have, but it's lovely to be back. The theme I chose for today is the sky is not the clouds. Now, all will become clear in the address, I hope. But as you can see from that last song, Defying Gravity, this Sunday gathering is about reaching for your dreams, about believing, about stretching farther than you think you can, and achieving what is possible. Every dream is possible. So today I am going to be doing the opening prayer. Sandra's going to do the reading and the healing. Phil and I are going to do the address. Phil and I are going to do the mediumship, and then Sandra's going to do words of the week. And Phil will circle it off by doing the closing prayer. So please join me to the God of your understanding as we open in prayer. Divine and gracious Spirit, once again we sit within this global sanctuary, this sanctuary that is made of love, of hope, of dreams, and of an understanding of life after life. We walk together every Sunday, this journey of reuniting families, of believing our loved ones are with us and knowing that they stay with us through the week. As we venture into dreams untold, may we know that within ourselves, the only thing that holds us back is our mindset. If we can conquer that, the sky is the limit. Amen.
Thank you, Kerry. All right, the reading I have prepared for you. Oh, it is related to the sky, of course. It's about finding the limitless freedom that lies within us and seeing beyond the boundaries of our everyday world. It's about finding peace in a restless world by transforming our very perception of who we are. So, this reminded me of a parable about a curious little girl and her grandfather watching the clouds go by. A little girl named Lily was lying in the grass next to her grandfather, watching the big, puffy clouds drift across the vast summer sky. She was a child full of questions, and today she had a big one. "Grandpa," she said, her voice filled with wonder, "why is the sky blue?" Her grandfather smiled, a deep, warm smile that reached his eyes. "Ah, my little star," he said softly, "that's one of the most beautiful secrets. You see, the sky isn't really blue. It just wears a blue dress. It just wears blue like a beautiful blue dress for the day, so the sun has a lovely dance floor. But the sky itself, its true self, is everything else." Lily scrunched up her nose. "Everything else? What do you mean?" she said. "Well," he said, pointing up, "we see the blue and we see the clouds. And sometimes we think that's all there is. We think the clouds are the top, the limit. But what's beyond them?" "The stars," Lily guessed. "Exactly. The stars, the moon, and a vast, dark, beautiful space that goes on forever." Scientists say that most of the universe, almost all of it, is made up of a mysterious dark energy and matter that we can't see at all. It's like a great, invisible, loving secret that holds all the galaxies and the stars in their place. The blue part we see is just the front porch of an infinite mansion. He paused, letting her think. You know, our lives are a lot like the sky. How? She said. Well, we have our own clouds that drift through our minds, don't we? Clouds of worry, clouds of sadness, sometimes big stormy clouds of anger. And it's so easy to get lost in them. We look up at the big gray storm cloud in our heart and we think, this is it. This is my whole world right now. We think the cloud is the limit. He turned and looked at her. But you are not the cloud, my love. You are the sky. I am the sky, she said. Yes, you are the vast, limitless space that holds all of it. Your heart can hold the happy, puffy, white clouds of joy, and it can hold the big, stormy, gray clouds of grief. They float by, they rain a little, but they can never, ever, ever hurt the sky. The sky is always whole, always peaceful, always there. Becoming the sky means remembering that you are bigger than any single feeling, any single worry. It is the freedom within. Lily was quiet for a moment, and then she asked, Grandpa, is Grandma part of the sky now? Her grandfather's eyes glistened. Oh, yes, that's the other part of the secret. You know how energy can never be destroyed? Well, our loved ones are pure energy. They are like the stars in the daytime. Just because you can't see them in this bright blue illusion of this world doesn't mean they're not shining. They are always there, a part of the great infinite sky, right alongside of us. He took her little hand. Heaven isn't some faraway place we go to, Lily. It is the truth of this vast, unseen, loving reality that we are already a part of. We just have to remember to see beyond the clouds, to see beyond what our eyes tell us is real, and feel the truth of it in our hearts. Lily looked up, and for the first time, she wasn't just looking at a blue ceiling. She was looking into infinity. She felt the warmth of the sun, the vastness of space, and the loving presence of her grandma and grandfather all at once. She smiled. She was not just a little girl lying in the grass. She was the sky. And isn't this our own journey? We get lost in our clouds sometimes, in our restless nature, and we forget what our true nature is. We are not our fleeting emotions like the clouds or our temporary troubles. We are the vast, limitless sky that holds it all. Our loved ones are not gone. They are the stars, forever shining in the same infinite space we share. So today, let's remember to look past the clouds, to feel that boundless freedom within, and to become the sky. I know Kerry and Phil will talk more about this during the address, but now we are going into our healing. And our healing is all about intention and our love. We're going to hear a beautiful piece of music by the artist Enya. And however you wish to be of service and send healing to the world, you know, sometimes you can imagine people and situations happy, healthy, and whole. I think of my mom sometimes when she goes to bed at night, she'll climb aboard a cloud and then she'll look down on all of her family and her friends. And it's like counting sheep, but it makes her sleepy and she goes to sleep. But if we want to jump aboard a cloud and just send down that energy of love and healing, There's no right way or there's not any wrong way. So you can just enjoy this song, and those in the unseen world are more than happy to use our human energy and direct it to where it's needed in the world. So I'll play the song, and then the next voices you'll hear are Kerry and Phil for our address.
Thank you very much. That was a beautiful reading, Sandra, and it encapsulated some of what I was going to say. So we seem to be on the same page when we think about the sky and the clouds. Generally, we tend to be living day to day. We feel like perhaps we're observers to life, where we are controlled by life and that we just go with the flow and have no thoughts about how to change it. But there's thoughts in our minds about how will I cope? If there's another way, why is this happening to me? We live in the way of striving for, trying for, waiting for, and trying to be. But did you know that there is a dopamine fix in the wanting? So we might want a bigger house and we get all excited. We might want that big extravagant holiday that we've always lived for, and then we get all excited. We might want to redo our home or to have a new pet or a new member of the family in some way and get all excited. But the minute that need is met, the dopamine fix goes. And so we look for something else. Makes sense, doesn't it? I know when I began to think about this, the sky and the clouds, about am I reaching for the clouds and actually the sky's the limit? So it got me thinking, what things have I striven for that when that need has been met, I felt a disappointment? It got me thinking about holidays, the time of the year holidays. You know, when it's Thanksgiving or when it's Easter and it's Christmas, and then you've got the lull afterwards. The vacation. The vacation comes and goes, and we've got the lull afterwards. We think it's to do with going back to normal life. We think it's to do with going back to work. But actually, I wonder if it's just us looking for another dopamine fix. This got me thinking about what's happiness. Happiness, I thought, was about enjoying life, about being in life, about having those people and places surrounding us that encourage us and empower us to be more. And I don't think I'm far wrong there. But I was strangely taken aback whilst meditating today. We call it sitting in the power. When I realized that it's not happiness I'm seeking, it's peace. And I thought, oh, that got me thinking about meditation. Meditation, yes, I've done a lot today since I sat in the power this morning. Meditation is those times where I bet you were of the opinion that you sat and you cleared your mind. You had no thoughts, when in actual fact, that's not the way you meditate at all. To be able to meditate is about being able to be at peace with your thoughts, to being able to be at peace with the silences. And I'm okay with the silences now, but I remember a time when the silences scared me as much as a non-stop chatter in my mind. And so the silences, I realized, was me being at peace. That got me thinking about, am I only at peace when I'm meditating, Or am I at peace at other times? Excuse me for deafening you. I've been out of the country and on the road, so to speak, for just over 6 weeks. And I had a reflective moment, or many of them. I have been at peace. I have got caught up in the moments of frustration or turmoil or joy, but I've been working with some beautiful people. Yes, you're included. And the spirit world. And I've been at peace. I've been at my most happiest because I've been at peace. Now, I know for some, there's this thing put on graves or on gravestones that says, rest in peace. Does that mean we can't have peace in life? So, what have I learned today? I've learned that when I meditate, I'm at peace. For you, when you're meditating, if you allow yourself to see and feel and experience your thoughts, you then move into a oneness because those thoughts become a story, and that story becomes a daydream, and that daydream becomes a meditation. And then that meditation can be directed by the spirit world, by your loved ones. That means that when you dream at night and you meet your loved ones in dream state, you can meet them in waking state, in meditation. Happiness isn't really what we're striving for. I believe it's peace. It's a sense of being present and accepting that life is the way it is. Now, I know for me, family is where the heart is, but my home is depicted by something different. I've been at home for the last 6 weeks. I've been with this man. This man is where my home is. I've been with the spirit world. The spirit world is where my home is. So I ask you to consider, what have you been striving for that you thought might have made you happy? And what actually are you striving for? Could it be peace? And if it is, what might that look like? If you think about the clouds and the sky and the reading that Sandra gave, maybe you are in a stillness of the sky. What you think is blue is actually much more. Thank you.
Sandra, Kerry, ladies and gentlemen. I should say good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are in the world. Listening to Sandra and listening to Kerry is quite inspiring, especially when you had the words that they spoke in your mind. But when you listen to somebody speak inspiringly in the moment, you sort of go into that meditative state that Kerry's talked about. You go into that daydream space. You have your own thoughts, your own ideas, and that imagination just knows no boundary until the mind creeps in. I'm surmising that you're here because you're looking for that spiritual fix for the week that's coming. Or maybe you're looking for that spiritual answer from the week that you've had. It doesn't matter which one it is, because you're looking for what Kerry has spoken about, that peace in your life. Sometimes we lose sight of that sky because those clouds are in the way. And when we think about the clouds that are in the way, They might be rain clouds, storm clouds. So let's call them drama. You know that drama that I'm talking about, the one that we get caught up in, the one that distracts us, the one that rules our minds from the moment we wake to the moment that we sleep, and sometimes it disturbs that sleep. Excuse me. But it's that drama that stops you from seeing that sky, that bright blue sky that stands out, that is so vivid, that allows you to be transported from the world that you live in, the 9 to 5, the drama, the anxiety. And it was when Kerry was speaking, I was thinking, how right and how true is what she spoke about. Thinking about happiness and that dopamine, that we're looking for the chase, we're looking for the next fix, we're looking for the next high. And it's a good friend in Scotland, Laura Hamilton, who said to us, you know, social media is like smoke and mirrors. It portrays a certain thing, doesn't it? Happiness, success. But actually, when that camera turns off, are those people happy and successful? We were with somebody in the United States just recently that you may know of YouTube, successful creator. And we saw what he did. But did he live that life that he was creating on YouTube and many other social platforms? No. He was just an average person with an average life aspiring to be. And getting to know him, and we asked a question, what gives you all these wonderful ideas? And he quite simply said, it's the life I'd like to lead, but let's be honest, I'm never in this world going to achieve it. And that hit me with a bit of sadness because he was portraying something to a massive audience, but yet he wasn't able to live that sky, that dream, that inspiration. Well, after spending a bit of time with him, his tune changed a little bit because we said to him, you surround yourself with people who make your life successful. And for a few moments, he looked blank, he looked vague, and he looked around and he saw those friends that were there helping him. And he said, you're quite right, actually. They're the ones that are inspiring me because I see happiness in their life. And that got us thinking. With traveling and meeting some wonderful people, and I know Judy Mosher said hello to us, and she's from Santa Fe on the chat box here earlier on. And it's so lovely to see chats from Naomi and many, many other people. It makes us smile. What we do sometimes, we never know how it inspires other people around us. We never know that we are the sky for others. We are that great deep blueness that they lose themselves in. And there's many people around this world that inspire you, whether it's words of wisdom, whether it's their sense of humor, whether it's their silly little acts. Actually, what they've done is created a moment for you to lose yourself, to let go of all your worries, to let go of all those dramas. Because we get transported, we get transfixed in those moments. They take over our lives, don't they? Because we're being busy and so busy that we don't know anything else but being busy. We let go of the truth of life, that how wonderful it can be. There's many songs out there that remind us. My lovely wife here lives by music. She can tell you by a song what year it is and what she was doing. There's very few moments like that for me. For me, it's not about songs. It's about moments I share with people, such as my wife traveling recently and my youngest son saying that he's 6 foot odd and we all look at him now and he's 18 years of age. It's those moments that we forget about worries, dramas, anxieties, self-limiting beliefs. So Kerry's right, I think, in the sense of we're looking for peace. Because when we were traveling, when we are working, when I'm speaking right now with a smile on my face, not knowing what I was going to say because Sandra said one thing and Kerry said another thing. And I thought, where am I going to go? Where's it going to leave me? And you get caught in that drama of what can I say that will be useful for people to be inspired? Well, We just have to be who we are and live in this moment. And it's in the moment we find love, we find happiness, we find good friends, just like you and Sandra and a lot of other people. And that's what makes life important. And that is the sky. So don't be distracted by the clouds. Because as we look at the weather, isn't it a good wind that shoves those clouds out of the way, that clears those skies to allow that sunshine to shine through? And just think about it for a second. Close your eyes and picture that sunlight hitting you for the first time. Let it remove all your worries, all your strains, all your weights of the world, and really recognize who you are, that you are truly an inspiration to others. You never know who's watching. You never know by your reactions or actions what effect that has on people. Just like that YouTuber doing his thing that he loved, that he enjoys, that he creates happiness and smiles and laughter and tears in people's eyes, because he's not bothered in that moment of what people are thinking about. He's just enjoying that moment, knowing that somewhere in this world, he's making a difference. Sandra mentioned earlier that this is 282nd, is it? Did I hear right? Yes, she says. She's nodding away on the screen. Who'd have thought when we all came together, a group of us, a bunch of us, doing our own thing that said, do you know what would happen if we did this? And you know, along the way, people won't like it. Some people will love it. I'm going to share my thoughts. I love it. I love it because we're being who we are. We're making a difference. And I don't know, anything from 2 to 3 to 500 in the beginning, people enjoyed it and repeatedly came back. And even after a while where we're not here, like we've been traveling, and we come back, we remember the joy that it gives us. We remember that happiness, that upliftment, but most of all, the joy within our soul. Because right now, as I speak to you, I've lost all my worries. I've lost all my thoughts. Those dreams, that dopamine is just hitting me now because I'm being who I am. I'm actually looking directly into a camera, but all I'm seeing is Sandra's smiling face on the screen behind, that wonderful green grass, and that blue sky with a few white clouds. Wouldn't it be nice to live in a world that is exactly like we've all been speaking about? And you never know, as you live in that world, in that life, in that moment, that you make other people look at their lives and go, actually, that's how we should be living. And I remember recently when we were traveling, a young tot came up to us in the middle of the street, and Dad and Mum were saying, oh, we're really sorry. And I said, no. I said, it's moments like this that we find sunshine, that we find the blue sky, that we lose ourselves from the worries and distractions of this world, and we see what truly matters, what we're leaving behind for others, that legacy, that inspiration, through that child's smile and silly words that were spoken. And I can't repeat them, believe you me, because they were rude, but they were funny. It makes a difference, doesn't it? And I wonder, with me just speaking right now about that child and what they said, if you are smiling, if you all of a sudden have lost your worries, your strains, your weights of life, because you're living now in this moment. So remember, ladies and gentlemen, you have the capability through meditation, through mental attitude, positive thinking, to live each day as a blue sky, without a single cloud in that sky. And when that thought comes in as that cloud, remember, is it important? Just push it to one side and keep on smiling, because you can manifest anything that you want in this life, and you can live that dream and you can make a difference for people. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for listening. I'm going to pass you back to Sandra Champlain.
Oh, Kerry and Phil, thank you so much. Wow. You know, it's interesting when you're in the present moment, great words are coming out of your mouths and through your soul, and even just being a receiver of that, you know, just being in the moment, you just absorb it. So ladies and gentlemen, thank you to Kerry and Phil, and we're going to move on now to our demonstration of mediumship. And I just love that thought that even though we can't see the stars during the daytime, that they're still very real. It's just the same for our loved ones. They're gone from our sight, but they are very, very real, very real. And they're not some millions of light years away either. They're right here, right now. And I love the word hereafter, because that's where I think we're all part of we're in their world. Yes, they continue to learn and grow and explore and all those good things in the spirit world, but they're always just a heartbeat or a breath away from us. And as we see in our medium demonstrations, they're so actively a part of our lives. So as we go into our demonstration, there will be a handful of our gathering members here today that will get readings. But why the spirit world is included in this, or they include us in the Sunday gathering, is for all of us to know just how close they are, to hear that. You hear that so often in the medium readings. And also, if you pay close attention, you'll find that these readings and some of the messages that come through are just what you needed to hear today. So isn't it interesting that Kerry's thought of the sky and our theme it turned into the way it did, that I was inspired by the reading and they were inspired by their address? Well, those in the spirit world that speak to their loved ones today through Kerry or Phil, they're also speaking to all of us. They are. So it's pretty interesting. So that being said, in a little while, we're going to hear a feel-good piece of music to raise the energy. Not that we need to, because I know everybody's feeling good right now. But but after that, when Kerry and Phil do their demonstration, they work in their own special way with those in the spirit world, inviting them to work with them. Those will, in the spirit world, there's still people. We still have our personalities. We get to pick our best age, our best height, you know, all those good things that we wish to be, our best age. And so you'll hear Kerry or Phil give a description about the person that has presented themselves to them. Now, those in the spirit world know exactly who's on our Sunday gathering today. Even if you're out for a walk thinking nobody knows, well, they do. So you may be getting a reading today. We never know exactly how it's going to work. But after you hear the description about the person that's in the spirit world, we're going to have you be on the edge of your seat. Do you know this person? Sometimes it's family, sometimes it's friends, sometimes it's somebody you worked with, sometimes it's somebody a little bit distant. We never quite know how they're going to work, but you're going to get this little tingle, I say, or this little feeling of like, hey, they're describing so and so. Wait till they finish the full description of the person. And if you can understand all that information as somebody you know that no longer walks this earth, we want you to press your raise hand button. And I know we always have newcomers to our Sunday gathering. So this is audience participation now. To find that raise hand button, press it for me. If you're on an iPad or a tablet or a phone or something, you might need to press a few dots first before raise hand shows up. Now, why this is important is because you'll notice it goes from raise hand and now says lower hand. Sometimes there's two or more people that can take all the initial bits of information. So Kerry, Phil, or whatever medium we have working with us on our Sunday gathering, they'll continue with the evidence. And we really need you to listen in, because we're usually around 150 people each week on the Sunday gathering, some a little more, some a little less. But if you can't take all the information, be kind and just press that lower hand button. It's important to get to the right person as fast as we can. And don't feel nervous if this is your first time and you don't want to say anything, you feel a little bit shy. We're all family here. Your picture never goes on the screen, so don't worry about that. All right, don't. And like I said, others can hear messages and get some good tools from these interaction. So don't ever hesitate to press your raise hand button if you can take all the information. Now, if you are somebody who works with our medium, I am going to press a button on my side. You're going to get a little flash popping up on your side, and you'll see an unmute button. We just need to hear your voice. And when I say that, all we need from you is a yes, no, or I don't know to the information Kerry or Phil gives today. Now, this information goes out to any time you have a medium reading. Kerry, Phil, myself, and some others are doing our best job to raise the level of mediumship on planet Earth. You see, when you go to a doctor, you trust that they've been educated, but just anybody can hang the shingle that says medium. So what we need from you is just a yes, no, or I don't know. Let the mediums do the job of describing your loved one, giving you that evidence, the messages. All right. So just yes, no, and I don't know forevermore. All right. That's our deal. I'm shaking your invisible hand right now. So that's how it goes. Obviously, not everyone gets a reading, but it's more about the messages that come through, really for all of us paying attention, just how close these people are. Sometimes they say things that they witness, different things that are happening currently in our life that shows they're part of our life. And also the message. Boy, I've heard some words myself that I thought I could use a little bit of that today. So take it, pull it forwards towards you. All right. Do me that favor. So we're going to hear that piece of music right now. It's from The Greatest Showman. This Is Me. We can all feel our glory as the powerful skies that we are, that, never-ending universe that really is how powerful we are. And we are connected to it all. If you want to envision your loved ones right there around you, healthy, whole, feeling great. So happy to be joining you today. And then we'll be back with our demonstration. So let me play our song for you.
Hello again, Miss Sandra.
Great.
How are you doing?
I'm happy.
Good, good, good. Me too. I was just in my own little world. I unplugged from the music for a moment and I was just having that moment of peace, just listening to the seagulls. But let me tell you this, at 5 o'clock this morning, I was not having the same thought. The seagulls woke me up, but there we go. Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, it is a pleasure to be back with you. And just as I became aware of the spirit world, I just heard somebody say, "Oh, I was George and they've left," sort of thing. That's who was working with me during the address. So there we go. So as I become aware of the spirit world here, I know that I want to talk about Dad. Now, as I hear the word Dad, I also hear laughter. So I know he's got a really good sense of humor as well. I also know that he was one for telling jokes. I do feel they were quite rude jokes, blue jokes as well. And I also feel here he just had that ability to make people laugh, and especially the family as well that I want to talk about. But I also get the sense as well that he passes quite quickly. And when I say that, it feels like I don't live that late life, that late age in life. So I know he passes midlife, I want to say. So that could be round about the 50s, something like that. But I just get that impression as he comes forward. But I know he spoke it and spoke just like he thought as well. But I also get the sense here is a little bit of a know-it-all. He seems to know different types of, how can I put this, information about all kinds of things. Would this make sense to somebody in our congregation, please?
Oh, thank you very much, Phil. If you understand this information, go ahead and press your raise hand button. Now, I know Marilyn put her hand up straight away, and we also have Courtney with her hand raised.
Okay, so we've got two people. Thank you, Sandra. So as I just check in on something, when I talk about the jokes and things that he would have done, I know there would have been quite a few dad jokes in there as well, because I can just get the impression of raising my eyes. I've heard these jokes before, but they seem to be told at family get-togethers and were the social events as well. That makes sense. I've got a fly in here as well.
My goodness. Okay, Marilyn P. and Courtney M. You can both understand that all that information because you have your hands still raised.
Okay, so with them still having their hands raised, they would also, I'm not saying it's Dad's name, but I hear the name of John as well, and that should separate the two, please. And John is in the spirit world.
Okay, thank you very much. Courtney's hand went down. Marilyn's hand went up. Courtney, you keep listening in. Marilyn, if you could press your unmute button, please. Marilyn P., you have your hand raised. It might be by accident, but.
Well, we've got Anna coming in, so let's bring Anna in as well, just to see.
All right, Anna, if you could press your unmute button. Hi, Anna.
Hello,
Hi.
Anna.
Hello.
Hello. Do you understand everything I've said, Anna?
Yes, I understand. Name John. He is a father, but to me was a husband. Uh, Transitioned at 59.
Don't tell me anymore, because I know I'm around there. Then would you understand that he had a really good sense of humor, and some of his humor could be quite risque?
Yes, absolutely.
That's fine, because that's what I want to do, because there's some things here I can't say, which if I was in a different sort of environment, I might bring one or two of them out. But I know he could get people's attention by those jokes.
Yes, they were spicy and
Yeah, exactly, sort of thing. Because I know he, I daren't say it, sort of thing. Sandra would ban me, but I know that he's to the point, and he's not really bothered who he is, because he says it for effect in a way. He has that, he's got that cheeky grin and spark in his eyes, and I actually feel as he told the jokes, he would laugh at himself at his own jokes.
yes,
But I also know with him that he is what I call a very down-to-earth man. What he thinks, what he says, he just says it.
yes, very straightforward and common sense and direct.
Good, because that's what I have with him. But I also know this, he's a man of his word. If he says something, he does it, and he stands by his convictions as well.
Yes,
And I
absolutely.
also know if you cross him, he will have his say, then that will be it. It will be done. He's not one for carrying grudges or carry on making dramas as well.
Yes,
And I also know, like I said before, he's one that interacts with topics of conversations, and you can't tell him anything because he already knows it.
absolutely.
And if I go to world affairs and politics, he would have his say.
Yes,
And he also feels here that he would get quite vocal watching the television, watching the news,
yes,
because it just feels, and I can't repeat that. Sometimes he would listen to politicians and people on the television, and he would say it's a load of rubbish. And that is polite for what I heard.
yes,
Because I also know here that he is a man of his own mind as well. But I also feel as well that he was somebody that didn't like to show weakness. He liked to come across strong.
always.
And I know towards the end, and I know it was a quick passing, I know there were symptoms, but he wouldn't talk about them.
That's true.
And I also know he wasn't one for going to the doctors either.
Correct.
And I also know that I will keep quiet. I will try and do things my own way. And I know he had some different ideas when it came to health, like home remedies.
Yes.
And I want to talk about foods in particular that he would have tried to eat healthier. But I want to say by that time, it was too late.
You're right.
I know, because this is what he makes me aware of, but I also feel as well that he doesn't regret things. He lived his life the way that he did. And again, he has got a great sense of humor, because I've just heard him singing Frank Sinatra, I Did It My Way. So even in that moment of sadness, he would have that joke to say.
Yes.
And he was a good person to have around, because when there were dramas, he knew how to break the ice. He came out with those one-liners, and even though sometimes they were inappropriate.
Yes.
And I also know he knew exactly what to say when it came to you, Anna, as well, how he would lighten your life, because he makes me aware of the address about being your blue sky at times.
Yes. Or
And as a child, he would have read you stories as well.
yes.
And I also know that he would have, how can I put this, made up stories for you to inspire you and lift you.
Yes.
Because I know that's why he's coming here today, to inspire you and lift your mind. Hannah, I'm going to repeat his words. I would be right in saying that you felt a little bit low just recently without going into it.
Yes, and thank you for
And,
this.
and I know he keeps on saying you were asking for me to come earlier on today because you thought, I'm going to the Sunday gathering. Could you come?
Yes,
And I know you still often speak to your dad and your husband and your mum as well,
yes,
because I know they're all together. You must have on display, I'm just checking this, on display, photographs of you and your husband.
yes,
And one of them that is out on display is the wedding photograph.
it is.
Because I know that you often look at it and tell him how much you enjoyed your life with him and that you love him, because he's exactly expressing that back to you. But he wants you to know he's there with you when you're saying this as well. He used to have this little habit of moving your hair out of your face as well,
Yes,
because I also know he's tried to do that with me, and I've just said I haven't got no hair, but I know here I got that feeling of that the fingers going across my head as well. It's like I've got a comb over all of a sudden. It's really different when you've not had hair and you feel it all of a sudden. But I know here he makes me aware of that tenderness. I know our life wasn't perfect, but we lived it in the moment and we did our best. Understand?
yes,
And I'm going to leave you his love, knowing that he is with you, and where you've been also looking at your diet and trying to eat a little bit healthier.
yes,
And let me just look at this for a second. He would have liked plain food, wouldn't he?
yes,
Simple meals. And he was always grateful, but you knew when he was hungry because he would just sit at the table waiting.
yes.
Dare I say it, he's just like me. Because I again here he makes me aware of that, because he's not backwards coming forwards. He is a simple man that enjoyed his life together with you, and I know here he's also been with you. Just give me a second. Thank you. He's also watched you sorting out little either vacation memorabilia that you have with him in your life. Understand?
Yes,
Because I know and would I be right in saying that you used to collect or still do collect fridge magnets?
yes, I have a lot
I,
on it.
I know, because he says you've been moving them around. It's his way of proving that he is with you, watching over you, still loving you, and most of all, living life with you. I'm going to leave his love with you and say, when we made those vows, he meant them. I'm going to leave that with you and say thank you.
And thank you. Yesterday was his angel anniversary, and I
Wonderful.
went to visit his resting place. It's by the beach, and I was sending my love, and while walking, reminiscing.
Bear with me one second. Don't tell me any more, Anna. There
Told me.
must be a memory, because you mentioned something there where he was on the beach with you, where he got burnt because he fell asleep.
Yes.
Yes, because he just brought that thought in there as you mentioned it. So I'm going to leave his love with you, and thank you for coming forward and allowing me to do that for you, Anna. Thank you.
Oh, it's my gift, and God bless you all.
Oh, God bless you too. God bless you too. Okay. Okay. All right. So as I become aware of the spirit world once more, I know I have a lady. I do believe it's an auntie, and I know here that I can hear the piano. So I know she played the piano as well. I also get the sense that she was either a music teacher, and I also want to say the person I want to talk to, she would have taught you to play the piano as well. And I also feel that she would have had either I nearly said something completely wrong then. It's either a musical, I nearly said medical, but a musical background where she either went to university or study. I know she would have had that as well. So that should make sense to somebody.
Thank you very much, Phil. All right, who understands this information? Go ahead and press your raise hand button. And we will wait patiently.
The only thing I'm challenging as I'm waiting is whether I've got the relationship right, but I'm going to stick to the other.
No hands up just yet, Phil.
That's fine. Then if I'm wrong with the relationship, because I can't change the evidence, I know I've got a lady, I know that she would have played the piano. I know if she wasn't that musical teacher, but she did play the piano, but I know she taught you to play the piano. Because I can see, so I can work with the rest, but I just need the right person to come forward here. And I keep on hearing the name of, two names actually, the name of Joyce, and I do believe that should be still here. And I also hear the name of Margaret that should be in the spirit world as well.
Well, we have Tim with his hand
My word.
raised. Hello, Tim.
Hello, how are you doing?
Very well until you came forward. No, thank you for coming forward. Do you understand what I've said?
Yes, and I can take the names as well, except Joyce is in the spirit world.
So I've got it wrong. Right, okay, so both of them are in the spirit world. But you understand a lady in the spirit world that would have played the piano.
Yes.
And she would have taught you or tried to teach you.
Yes.
Yes. But I know that she must have been either musically trained though.
Yes, she was.
Because I get the sense here, because I can see the music that she's on the piano with, but I know she's changing it. So I know she has that ability. So I know she's able to compose her own music.
I don't know if she did. She could have.
Okay. But I know she's that, almost like I want to say classically trained.
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah, that's good, because that's what's in my mind. But I also know with her that she's a lady that knew her own mind. She's quite to the point.
Yes.
And if you get it wrong, she will tell you.
Oh, yes.
Because it just feels worse. She doesn't even let you try and skip over it. She pulls you back. But I know that she's like that in life. But I also feel with her, she's, how can I put it, a very independent lady as well.
Yes.
And when I say independent, she doesn't need help. I will say it, she's also quite opinionated.
True.
Because I just heard the words, I don't need a man. So I know where she was independent and I know but I also feel that she lived her life by routine.
I'm not sure of that.
Then would I be right in saying with her that she wasn't a lady for going on big vacations? She was a home bird.
As far as I know, that's right.
Because again, it feels like and where I lived then, there must have been local shops and amenities in walking distance.
Yes.
Because I know here, like I said, she's a lady by her own means, and I know she's very independent, but I know she seems to be, in a way, isolated. But I also feel I want to go back to the piano and the music. She would have liked the old-fashioned hymns.
That I don't know.
Then would I be right? In fact, no, I'm wrong there. Thank you. She must have been able to play things like Bach and Mozart and things.
Oh, yes. Yeah, absolutely.
That's fine, because I know here, because I actually thought they were hymns, but they're not. It's the concertos that I'm hearing.
Mm-hmm.
And would I also be right in saying that she spent her life with that piano and she didn't watch a great deal of television?
I believe that's right.
Because I also know that it seems where she's perfecting and playing and she's entertaining herself as well. And if I'm understanding this right, I know that you, Tim, because you're one of our mediums, I know little bits about you. I know you play the piano, but you must have been either perfecting or playing a certain piece of music repeatedly recently.
I understand that.
Because I know, and it's almost it's where I want to say you're practicing for a future event. Understand?
No, not piano.
Sure. Then bear with me 1 second. I know you're attending the Blackpool gathering. She's making me aware that you're planning on playing the piano at that event, just as a social evening type thing, just in the background.
Yep, that's right. I am.
Because I know she is almost where she's saying to me or making me aware you're practicing to perfect it that little bit and getting you polished up. She is very, I want to say music was her life because she loves
Yes.
it.
Yes, it
And
was.
because she won't allow my mind to move to other things. And it's about perfection. It's about enjoyment. It's about playing and making the most of it and that passion for it.
Yes, that makes sense.
She was really good though, wasn't she?
Oh, yes.
Because I also know that she could play, and it's gonna, I don't know if this is possible. It just feels where she could play tunes backwards.
I don't know.
Then have you tried just recently to play something backwards or play something in reverse?
Not recently.
But you have done.
I have done before, yeah.
That's fine, because I know I can't change what I've got in the way that it's been brought across, but I know she's very adamant about it. And I know she's very strong-minded because each time I go back and try and look at it, she sticks to her guns as well. And you had to be punctual with her as well.
Oh, yes, yeah.
And I know she stood by the door waiting for you to arrive.
Yes, okay. Maybe the odd time, yeah.
I know when you're late because she's like this doing this to me. So I know she's very punctual and making me aware of that. But what I want to say is she's very proud of you, and she must have known your family though as well.
In a way.
Because I know she's talking about people that have been reunited with her in the spirit world. I'm going to leave her passion, her love, and that perfection for the music with you. And there's something that you have been practicing, but there's either one of the notes you're not quite hitting, but you already know it.
I can't take that, I don't think.
I'm not going to change it because she's very adamant on it. So there's something that you either play very regular, and I get the feeling I should know it, but I know she's very adamant. Thank you. She would, when she practiced, or when you were practicing in front of her, she would walk off and come back without saying anything.
Yes, that's true.
And
Yep.
she knew if you missed a beat because she came back and told you.
Yeah, or wrong tempo. Yeah.
Because I know here, sorry for my musical knowledge, but I know here that practice, and I'm not going to change because she's adamant about it. I'm going to leave her love with you and say thank you for allowing me to do that, Tim, but know that she watches over you very proudly at times. That's her sense of humor. And I'm going to leave you that and say thank you so much. And I'm going to hand over to my lovely wife.
Thank you.
Tim. Thank you.
It's an absolute pleasure to be here and to work with the spirit world. As you secretly know, it's where I find my peace, and I know that Phil does as well. I do know that I have a gentleman here, and I do know that he would have been father, but also he was partner, stroke husband, stroke boyfriend. And I wouldn't be surprised if wife, boy, girlfriend, fiance and daughter or son are in our audience together. That makes sense because I know I have him here. I know that he is very prominent in his personality, and I know that he would have loved getting all the family together. So I feel like we have family together in this moment.
Thank you very much, Kerry. All right, who understands this information? You might be joined here with family members and dad or husband, boyfriend, whatever is in the spirit world. Okay. We have Courtney with her hand raised. Courtney, if you could find that unmute button and press it for us. Hi, Courtney.
Hi.
Hi.
Hi, Courtney. You understand everything that I've said?
Yes.
And is this your father?
Yes.
And so your mum would be there with you?
Yes. Not in the room, but there's a family gathering happening.
Okay. But she's not actually with you in the room, in the home?
She's in the home. Yes.
Oh, okay. I feel like I want to order her to come and watch,
I can
but
do that.
I feel like it needs to be.
Okay.
You go.
This is where this
And
yep, this
I'll-
is where we wait. We cannot do
You can't. You want to hear the footsteps, don't you? Dum, dum, dum.
yeah. Mom.
Mom is with me.
Hello, Mom.
Hello.
Hello. I know that I've got to your daughter by your husband saying that his daughter and his wife are together. And I know because I need to speak to Mom first. Is that okay, Courtney?
Yes.
Okay, Mom. Your husband was very, very clear when anything had to be done. He was very clear about how he wanted it done. Just say yes or no to me.
Yes.
Okay. I know that your husband as well, he must have kept a lot of what he was feeling inside, because I know there's parts of his younger years that you're aware of, but you know not very many people do or are aware of it.
True.
And I know that he bared his soul to you. And I know he absolutely adored you. So he was very open and emotionally available to you, Mom.
True.
I know too with your husband, it seems strange saying husband and Mom, but what's your name, please?
Debbie.
Debbie. Okay, that sounds a little bit better. It matches, doesn't it? Debbie, I know your husband would have had he must have not wanted any attention to his health.
True.
Because I feel like he did not want a big fuss made. I also know, Debbie, that when your husband, because I feel like your husband passed with an illness. It wasn't a sudden passing.
No, it was.
Okay, then, and I'm going with what I feel rather than what I see or hear. I feel that your husband must have already had health conditions that he was taking medicines and being treated for.
Yes.
Because I get this sense, Debbie, that there was, when he started this medication, it gives me the impression that he did change how he lived. He did pay more attention.
Yes.
I also know your husband had a cracking sense of humor, because
Very
I can hear him say, if I'd known I was going at that time, I would have enjoyed life to the fullest, but life isn't fair.
It's very true.
I know, Debbie, that there, albeit sudden, I know that there was plans put in place because your husband was a man very particular about legal, about money, about not wanting to be a burden to people.
Yes.
And I also know that the choice of songs you all picked for him, there was one of them that wasn't for him, it was for you.
Maybe. We can
Debbie,
take.
would I be right in saying then that one of the songs was your and your husband's song?
Yes.
Okay, because I just heard it was that song was for you. From him, that song was for you. Debbie, I'm just going to move to Courtney for a second. Courtney, you would know after your dad's passing that you must have had to have stepped in, because your dad makes me aware that some of the things that were wanting to be organized were done in the way that you wanted, because you know your dad wanted them that way.
Yes.
I also had this impression that your dad's rolling his eyes at some of the people that turned up to his funeral.
Yes.
It's not that he's questioning why they were there, it's just he's questioning why they turned up in the way that they did with the emotional outpouring.
Yes.
I know with your dad too, you would have memories, you would all remember as a family going to, it looks like a log cabin or a lake house.
I can't take that.
Then would you have memories of your dad showing me like a log cabin in an area that isn't populated? So would this have been a place that you've been to subsequent to your dad's passing?
Garrett and I stayed with him at that place in Oregon that was
Oh.
log cabins.
Yes.
Then it must be quite remote.
Well, it was in a town at the edge of it.
On the edge of it, because I know I can see trees and I can see a lot of unoccupied land around about. I know that during that time there would have been singing. I actually wouldn't be surprised if somebody had just thinking about Phil's last contact, a musical instrument. It feels like your dad loved that vacation and loved that place.
He did.
And I know that he wasn't adverse to going out on his own for walks. But I also know as a family, I don't know all the words to it, but there's a song I think called We're Going on a Bear Hunt. Would you have met your dad singing this to me? So there must be memories of this place going out and singing as a family out in the sticks.
He was a kid.
I need to say that your dad and your husband, Debbie, I know that there was an anniversary for somebody, their angel anniversary, but I know that there would be a date round about now that your dad and your husband wants to acknowledge.
Yes.
Because today had to be the day that he said hello, and I'm still getting in trouble.
Yes.
I know this is his way of saying, I see life going on. It's all good. I am fine. I am well. Somebody's just passed to the spirit world from here, because he's acknowledging a lady arrived in the spirit world.
Yes.
Okay, she's fine. She's well. I've got her. Double thumbs up. I'm going to leave your husband and your dad's love with you and say thank you for coming to join us, Debbie. And we'll see you next week.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you very much. Do we have time for one more?
We do.
Good. Okay. I do feel like I have a young woman here. When I say young woman, I feel like she would have had an illness. I do feel like she would have had multiple hospital appointments. I also get the sense with these hospital appointments, I get an incredible sense of depletion. Okay. I hope she's right. I hope I'm right with this. Would somebody in our audience understand a young woman in the spirit world that would have had anorexia? and would have had multiple hospital appointments. Would that make sense to somebody in our audience?
Thank you, Kerry. If that information makes sense, please press your raise hand button for us. No hands up just yet.
Okay, then I know what I see, and I've applied the incorrect disease with it. Somebody would know. When I say this young woman, I feel like she never got past the age of 30. If she did, it was narrowly past that. But I feel like her physical body would have changed from healthy to very malnourished looking, very, very, very thin. And I know this is family or a very close friend.
We have Regina with her hand raised. Regina, if you would press your unmute button. Hi,
Hello.
Regina.
Hi.
Hi, Regina. You understand this woman in the spirit world,
Yes.
and you understand it to be an illness that caused for her body to look malnourished.
Yes.
I want to say as well that she fought hard to overcome whatever illness this was.
Yes.
I know there were multiple hospital appointments, and I get the sense that you would be familiar with the hospital that she went to.
Yes.
I know that that hospital, you actually stay near that hospital or close by,
Yes.
because I know she gives me this impression that you've passed there. In fact, you've been to that hospital since her passing.
Nearby. I'm sorry, my husband is also here.
Okay.
Yes.
Because I know she shows me you being, I know passing by, but I actually felt that you had gone into, forgive me for that, but I know this is family to you, Regina.
Yes.
Because I know that I want to tease you and hug you and kiss you and feel very, very close to you. I know too that she must have spoken very openly about her illness with you.
Yes.
Regina, would you understand this is daughter?
Yes.
Okay. Because I want to tease you. Only the way a daughter would to their mum. My daughter teases me, and you get away with a lot as a daughter. I know that you attended appointments with her, but I also know that there must have been a point where your daughter did not want visitors outside of the family to her.
Yes.
I know from your daughter that this was kept by you, even though people felt like you were making decisions for your daughter. She knows that you did what she asked and you did the right thing. I also know she's showing me pictures of herself at the celebration of life, because I know you must have had pictures of her from a very little child through to her being older. Regina, you would understand her birthday being in August.
Yes.
Okay, because I know she's singing happy birthday to me. But she must have not made her birthday, Regina. She would have passed before her birthday.
No.
Does that make sense?
No. She passed in a different month after her
Okay.
birthday.
If that's the case, Regina, then she wasn't able to be fully present and celebrate her birthday, her final birthday on this earth.
No, I can't take that.
then allow me to work with this for you. Regina, would you know, you would know Mum in the spirit world?
My mother?
Yes.
Yes.
And you would know that your mum never made her birthday. Because I get this sense of, I know I've got your mum here because your mum was steadfast and very determined. I know that your daughter's wanting to acknowledge she passed before a birthday, because your mum's come in and said the same thing. Your daughter passed before a birthday. So if it wasn't her birthday, Regina, then she wouldn't have made somebody important here's birthday.
Her husband's birthday.
Okay, I know she's sorry for not making that birthday. She tried her best. I know she leaves, I know you've mentioned husband. I know there's family left behind. I know she's there with them. There must be a vacation just been taken.
We went to the beach last week.
Okay. But I feel like there were more people with you.
Yes.
Okay, because I know she says I was there with all of the family. We were all together. Please know we were all together.
Oh,
And she's singing happy birthday to me here again. So I'm going to leave that with you and say thank you very much. Know that on her birthday, she ain't going anywhere bar with her family.
okay.
Thank you very much, Regina. Thank you.
Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, it has been our absolute pleasure being back here with you. We love what we do. Our voices are ever so sexy at the moment, but we love what we do. We love being here with you, and thank you for being here. Without you, it would just be the three of us, and that would be lovely as it is, but it's great to have you all here.
Thank you for sharing time with us. Thank you.
Oh, thank you, Kerry and Phil. Ladies and gentlemen, if you just press your raise hand button to send some love to Kerry and Phil, not just the demonstration, but their heartfelt words in the address and the prayers as well. They are two lovely people, very near and dear to me. And between the three of us, we're going to do everything we can to help you know that your loved ones are still around, your life matters, give you any tools we've got to help move through that grieving process, keep this community strong, and let you know you are never, ever, ever alone. You've got us. Kerry and Phil's website is mymediumship.com. Go check it out. They mentioned they've got an event in Blackpool in England coming up at the end of this month. Also in October, they will be in New Jersey. They have a whole host of online classes. They're soon to release their September classes, and there's on-demand classes. There's meditations you can download, a YouTube channel. There's so much good stuff. mymediumship.com. Also, lots of good things you can find on my website, which is wedon'tdie.com. If you don't yet have a copy of my book and would like a free copy, just enter your name and email address at the bottom of the page. Why I always recommend it, even if you don't read the whole book, chapter 10 is about grief, how to survive it, why we grieve, what's happening in our body, and some tools that can help alleviate the pain and so much more. So that's my gift to you. At the store page at wedon'tdie.com, you can register for next week's Sunday gathering. Darren will be back with us and medium Dominic Bogue. We've got some Sitting in the Power Hours coming up with Scott Milligan. Also, our Fridays in the Arms of Eternity. Many of you know about the Conversations with Eric. The trance demonstration. We'll be holding one of those this coming Friday. Like I said, we have Sunday gatherings coming up, lots and lots. Kerry and Phil will be back with us in 3 to 4 weeks, I think. They are very busy people, but they still very, very close to home. They absolutely do. But on the Sunday gathering page, you can watch past Sunday gatherings. You can register for future ones. There's a whole bunch there. And I also do know that there's been some very kind souls that are on our Sunday gathering today that have donated to our Sunday gathering, making it possible. So you know who you are. We thank you. Technology does get a little expensive, but we'll keep it going. But your donations make a difference. So should you ever choose to donate, you'll also find that at the Sunday Gathering page at wedon'tdie.com. Also, towards the end of the month, our friends Kath and Mitch Shirley will be back with a free grief cafe. It's 90 minutes with two wonderful people that are both advanced grief recovery specialists. They're mediums, so they speak the language of the afterlife, and they're filled with tools. And it's really good conversation with them. So again, that's all at wedon'tdie.com. Now, as you go forward into your week, I want to give you a simple practice, a reminder of this profound truth that we shared today. Inevitably, the clouds will drift in, those thoughts and feelings of worry, of sadness, of frustration. When you start to feel one of those clouds starting to block your sun, I invite you to do this. Go outside or simply look out your window if you can. All right, see the clouds, but more importantly, feel the vast, limitless, peaceful expanse that holds them. And in that moment, slow down, get into the present moment, take a deep breath, and remind your soul of who you truly are by saying these words: I am not the cloud, I am the sky. And remember, you can't see the stars, but they are there. You are surrounded by love. You are. Let's do that again. I am not the cloud, I am the sky. So let that be your anchor for peace, and let that be your reminder of your own infinite nature. You, my friend, all of us, we're bigger than any clouds and any storm. I'm going to send it over to Phil for our closing prayer.
Ladies and gentlemen, once again, thank you for joining us. But this is that moment we come together once more under that universal banner of spirituality and love. So please join me in that prayer and think of your loved ones in the spirit world, how they raised you and how they created the life that you lead today. Gracious Spirit, we thank you for that love that you have shown us, that love that lights our way, for that universal blanket of spirituality as we grow within this world, as we ask for that peace to be given within our world as well, that we live our lives in peace and hold those doors open of peace to others. It is with that thought within our hearts and with our minds that we ask for that peace and that love to radiate around us within this world at this time and in our lives. But most of all, we ask for those that are in need to be brought that comfort and that peace within their lives too, knowing that we are all brothers and sisters of this world. Again, Father, we ask for that love, that divine peace within this world. Amen.
Thank you so much, Phil, and thank you, Kerry. So great to have you back. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen, and our friends and family in the spirit world. We're going to turn it over to one of those stars in the sky. It's going to be our closing number with Whitney Houston. Oh, thank you all. We've read all the comments in the chat box. We just don't have time to reply to them individually. We love you all. We thank you. We'll see you next Sunday, if not before. Bye, everyone. Go be the sky.